Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We'll just give it a couple of minutes for people to join in. I see there's people still trying to log in. Just another minute or so. All right, I think I will make a start, and we'll still let people come through as they do. So good morning and welcome everyone to today's session, Accelerate HR Digital Transformation and Reimagine the Employee Experience, hosted by Inc. IT Solutions. Let me quickly introduce you to our speakers today. Firstly, I'd like to welcome Shelley Hartney from Simco Operations to the panel today. Good morning, Shelley.
Good morning.
Shelley is a people manager at Simco Operations and comes to share her HR experience for over 15 plus years across various industries. Thanks for making the time today, Shelley, and I'm sure the attendees will gain a lot of value from your insights.
Thank you.
Next on the panel today, we have Imran Ansari from Inc. IT. Hi, Imran.
Hello, and good morning to everyone.
He's the co-founder for Inc. IT Solutions and also the director of technology. Imran keeps himself at the forefront of technology and brings over 15 years of digital transformation experience and helping organizations achieve success in their projects. And lastly, it's me, Paritosh Sankey. I'm a senior account executive at Inc. IT Solutions and focus on the human experience management practice. I work with organizations to guide them through their journey to identify the need, select a fit for purpose solution, and implement it to deliver the results for the organization. Let's get into today's agenda. So we would like to take you through some of the challenges that HR business partners face to digitally transform the HR function, strategies to assist you with overcoming these challenges, and help you reimagine the employee experience in the process. We'll also touch on why Inc. IT HR360. You'll hear that term quite a lot through today's webinar. And lastly, we'll take any questions that you might have. So just a bit of housekeeping before we join. We will be recording today's session, and we'll be happy to share a link post the session with everyone. There's a Q&A section through which you can submit any questions that you might have. And we have a team member on hand to be able to respond to your questions. But obviously, we have a section in the end as well where we can take some questions live. And lastly, we'll be running a couple of polls through today's sessions. So we would encourage everyone to participate. They'll pop up on your screen, and we'd love to get your feedback. So let's dive into our first topic, the challenges that HR faces in the current digital landscape. To start us off, let me take you through some of the biggest challenges that HR professionals face when it comes to digital transformation. Digital transformation has been on the radar for many HR professionals for some time now, but there are still many challenges that they face in adopting digital technologies. One of the biggest challenges is the lack of digital literacy and skills amongst the HR teams. While many HR professionals are comfortable using basic digital tools like email and spreadsheets, they may not have the skills or the knowledge to implement more advanced HR technologies, such as AI-powered recruitment tools or cloud-based HR management systems. Another challenge that HR professionals face is a lack of integration between different HR systems. For example, a company might have separate systems for HR management, payroll, and benefits administration, which can lead to data silos and make it difficult to get a comprehensive view of the workforce. In addition, there's a lack of standardization of the HR data, which can lead to inconsistencies in reporting and decision making. One of the other aspects is resistance to change. That's a common challenge that businesses face when implementing HR digital transformation projects. Employees may be accustomed to working in a certain process or with certain tools and may be hesitant to adopt new technologies or workflows. Resistance to change can manifest in different ways, such as skepticism, apathy, or active resistance. To ensure the success of a HR transformation project, businesses need to ensure that employees are invested in the project and understand its benefits. Engaging employees throughout the process can help you to build buy-in and the support that you need for this change. The digitization of HR processes means that sensitive employee data is stored digitally now, which can pose security and privacy risks. So businesses need to implement robust data security measures and comply with the relevant data protection regulations. I'd like to bring Shelley here. Shelley, in your experience, can you identify with any of these challenges that I've been talking?
Yes, my history is long in HR. I've gone from a place where it was very much paper copy and very messy to digital, and then now I've come back to paper copy again, and no automated processes and very messy and time consuming.
Yes. Thanks for sharing that, Shelley. And that brings us to our first poll for the day. So we'd like to understand from you all attending today's session, what are some of your challenges? And I'll kick off the first poll, and that should pop up on your screen. So are there multiple systems within your HR technology stack? Or like Shelley mentioned, do you have manual HR processes? Do you have lack of reporting on the workforce, or unable to plan the workforce, or you just have a low employee engagement? I can see some responses coming back. Just give it a couple more minutes.
I think it all directs towards employee experience, isn't it, Pari?
That's right, yeah. So, I mean, it leads to, I guess all of it would lead to a bleak employee experience. That's correct, Imran. I think we've got, all righty. And let's share some results. There we go. Staggering, isn't it? 67% still have manual HR processes, and there's still requirements for reporting. All right. So like we said, employee experience is also impacted by some of these challenges that we mentioned. So employee experience has never been more on top of mind of business leaders as it has been during this time of uncertainty that we're seeing now in the workforce. You want to ensure that the employees are feeling safe, they feel their value and are productive. not only for their own well-being, but also because it's critical to the business success. Organizations that deliver an exceptional employee experience achieve better results and outperform the competition. They realize about 17% higher productivity, 3 times revenue per employee, and a 40% lower turnover, according to a recent study that Gallup has shared. So Imran, can you please take us through and highlight some of the strategies that the business can rely on to address some of these challenges that we spoke about today?
Sure, Pari. Good morning, everyone, once again. I think based on the poll and some of the challenges Shelly and you mentioned are addressable, and which is a good news. And it can be strategized into 3 pillars. One is the business value. Second, what we're trying to do to improve the employee experience and how it can be a successful project. Let's take business value. Under business value, what should we consider is we need to identify the key performance indicators. Now, the KPIs has to be SMART, which is nothing but specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Now, we need to consider the cost-saving aspect as well. How can you deliver cost savings? Now, reduction in manual labor cost, minimizing error, and improving compliance. And an improved recruitment and talent management, which can be like by attracting top talent and automating resume screening and scheduling interviews and managing the hiring process from start to finish. Now let's come to the employee experience aspect. What can be the strategy to improve the employee experience? I believe effective communication of company goals, strategies, and plans throughout the spectrum. Then we can enable regular feedback, and recognition has to be in place for employees. There should be an opportunity to grow through learning and development, and improving work-life balance with HR tools like schedule and time tracking and introducing remote work arrangements. Now, this can all lead to a project success, where what we need to strategize is you need to define your transformation goals. Do you wish to streamline your HR processes, or do you want to improve employee experience? You need to develop a roadmap for implementation. We need to start small, manageable scope, and build on measurable success. We need to involve HR process owners and employee as part of this project. What we need to also do is provide training and support. Ample of training is always a success for adoption of HR technology. And of course, there has to be an encouragement for feedback, and we need to make adjustment based on those feedbacks. These are some of the strategies that I wanted to highlight, which can assist in accelerating employee experience. Now, I would like to deep dive into employee experience. It's a beautiful slide that we have at the moment, where there are 2 ladies who are actually showing their excitement. Now, what are the moments that matters to an employee? Now, we used to talk about moments that matters, like performance reviews, development plans, training, obviously important, but we also need to consider what else impact your employee's journey. Think about your own experience. Perhaps you were once passed over for a promotion, or you worked for a large project that led to a complete burnout, or you're working on a team that you didn't feel connected to. All this impacts overall employee experience. Now, what is the bottom line over here? You don't need an HR event to occur to be impacted. Experiences are dynamic. They are not isolated events. So what we need to do is move away from traditional HR methods that focus solely on supporting company goals. We need to create a work experiences that aligns people wants, needs, and expectations with company goals. This means moving away from simply facilitating transactions for delivering experience that makes every day a great day for your workforce, by better understanding what inspires and motivates individuals. Now, what I'm about to cover next is built on these foundations. This is what we believe as an organization, which led us to create Think IT HR360. Now, this is where I'm going to talk about what is Think IT HR360. Now, Think IT HR360 is powered by SuccessFactors. As you may have heard, SAP SuccessFactors as a cloud platform has been adopted globally by 7,000 plus companies. And what it covers is end-to-end HR suite, which involves recruiting, onboarding and offboarding, Employee Central, which is a core HR, your learning management, performance and goals, succession planning. It covers compensation, it covers payroll. There is a build work zone, which we're going to cover during the later of the slides, and then integration to third-party applications. Now, when you adopt Think IT HR360, you get complete implementation package from project prepare to deploy and hypercare for the much needed additional support that the company wants. Based on the feedback we have received, Think IT HR360 reduces complexity in pricing by offering one price and fixed price for implementation and licenses, which helps to increase the executive buy-in for the project. What we follow over here is a proven methodology, which breaks down the project into easy to manage stages, from exploration workshops, building the system based on agreed design. We also perform iterative business walkthrough for continuous feedback and extensive training for super user and admin users, including detailed work instruction manuals that we provide, which helps in change management and, most importantly, adoption for the platform. Let's deep dive into an HR processes to see how we can attract, engage, and hire the best talent. Now, what we have done is, in this slide, we have showcased a journey for an employee based on the candidate experience, the hiring manager experience, and the recruiter experience. But before I proceed, Shelly, based on your vast experience and considering getting the best talent for an executive position, how has your experience been considering both the HR team and candidate? What are the gaps that you have encountered, whether it is recruiting, onboarding, training, the new joinee, or managing their performance?
Okay, yeah, recruiting, obviously it's, you need to replace vacancies as quickly as possible. I know that we've had a different market in the last couple of years, and it's making it very difficult. Very difficult advertising and not getting suitable candidates for the role. So these vacancies are lasting a lot longer than previously. So the aim is to get someone into the position because you have a vacancy for a reason. You need people to do that work. So re-advertising and re-advertising for vacancies is very time consuming. So so when you do get suitable candidates to shortlist, going through, I mean, these days we're not getting hundreds of applicants for vacancies either. So we're just getting it's a different market, very minor, you know, applicant pools. And if we do advertise and we do get large candidate pools, it's very hard to, if it's not systemated or automated, it's hard to get applicants for shortlisting to pick the best candidates that you could possibly get. I know, for example, we did our apprentice campaign the year before last, and we had like 300 applicants for that pool. We manually had to go through, and the candidate or the panel was everybody had their own perception of what was the best candidate. And for example, we had a kid that I shortlisted, but the other two people in the pool didn't pick, and the actual school rang me about this candidate, and he's been the best apprentice that we've ever had. I picked him up from his resume that and if we had a system to pick up, then we wouldn't have gone, because they nearly didn't interview this candidate. So that's my experience. And onboarding, we need to make it as smooth as possible for people coming in, a streamless, like you said, from the word go, from advertising right through to getting them into the system, making sure everything's up and running for them. The employee engagement at this process, you could either win or lose them. So it has to be a streamless process. And the same with performance management, from top performers to below expectation performers. They need to be managed, and it needs to be a transparent, I found in my history, is it needs to be a transparent process for managers that change, and then you don't have that transparency with the employees that you're taking on. So yeah, from performance management, succession planning, right for the life cycle of the employee, it needs to be transparent.
Thanks, Shelley. And I believe this is where we have spent most of our time to study the behavior and pattern of employees and candidate journey, to have it transparent for everyone. Let me demonstrate how Inc. IT HR360 addresses these challenges. Now, what we have done is a bit of role play over here. So Jada Baker, who is a regional manager, recruiting for an operations officer manager, which is an important position. And this position has become vacant. This is where Jada Baker wants to fill this important role in the organization. Now there is a planning for this expansion that's going to happen. So what has going to be Jada Baker's experience when you implement HR360? So what Jada Baker is going to do is she's going to go and check for the org chart, and she's going to request for a new hiring. And this is where it triggers to the recruiter manager, which is Tessa Walker over here. She is a HR business partner of the same company. Now she gets a request for acquisition. What is her experience going to be when this HR360 package is implemented, and how the candidate experience will be when this job has been broadcasted? What Tessa Walker gets to see, she can view and post a new job on the company's portal. Now, the candidates who are looking for this job, they regularly check job portals. When they're checking this new job that has come into the market, they go to the company website and check the company details. Now, when they are on the company website, they can actually research about the company and do its background check, which is again on the company portal itself. And the candidates start submitting their portfolios. What Tessa Walker has been assisted over here as a platform is the platform auto screens and shortlists the candidates based on the experience, which Shelley was mentioning. There were 300 candidates that came in. Over here, there are times like when there are 1,000 candidates apply for the job. So this platform of SuccessFactor, Inc. IT HR360, will screen the candidates and have the top matching candidates on the top. Now, after that, what's going to happen is Tessa Walker is going to manage the online interviews. And once the candidate has been shortlisted, he's been notified about the interview process. The interview process happens and the candidate gets shortlisted. Tessa Walker is going to manage the offers online. Now, during this time, Jada Baker is actually monitoring the progress of this hiring. She sees what is happening with the whole process at the moment. And when the new offer has been given to the candidate can accept the offer, which is where the onboarding process starts from the day one of his joining. And this is where we have got a new person, operation manager, joining in, which is Jason Mark. Jada Baker welcomes the new hire, arranges the training, and Jason Mark starts the company from day one. Now, this attract, engage, hire process fills the gap with eliminating manual processes over here. Now, there are certain tools that is added up to the Inc. IT HR360 package over here, which is the native integration that's going to happen. The native integration happens with Microsoft Online over here, which actually facilitates in managing the whole Outlook integration. Through Outlook integration, it manages the whole interview processes of setting up the calendar invites and all those things. There is a job portal called LinkedIn, which is integrated, where you can broadcast these jobs for candidates to view. And then there is Seek integration as well as part of the native integration. And most importantly, once everything falls in place, DocuSign can be integrated as well as a native for everyone to put on their signatures and eliminate the manual processes of taking out printout, signing the documents. So this is all an integrated system, right from attracting a new talent, engaging with the talent, and hiring. This is where we bring in Jason Mark to the organization, and this completes the onboarding of the new hire. Now let me take you through how you can nurture and support this new talent once they are into the organization. What we do as the next level is we educate and develop this new talent for pay for performance. And this is where there are other modules of Inc. IT HR360, where we have learning management, where we have goals and performance, succession and career development. Of course, the most important is the compensation. Now let's bring in Jada Baker in this scenario again and see how is her experience when this candidate comes into the organization. As a hiring manager, she can manage a new hire task. She can manage probation of employees. She can manage goals and performance. She can conduct a performance review. The rewards and recognition, team members can be compensated through the same platform. She can assign learnings as well, either during day one or during the course of the life cycle of this employee. And she can initiate promotion and transfer. Reports are also provided to support over here, and this actually all build up to the brilliant experience for the hiring manager. Now, how is the experience of Jason Mack, which is a candidate who has been embedded into the system? As an employee self-service, he can go and view employee his details. He can manage the attendance, leave and absences through a mobile app. He can request for a letter generation over here. He can sit with the manager and manage his goals as well. And then he can attempt learning and training through the platform. What Jason also has is direct access to the HR policies and procedures. And then he can submit if there is any grievances through the platform itself. Now this completes the hire to retire journey of an employee, all within a single platform. I hope that gives a good indication of how the experience is going to manage within this Inc. IT HR360 platform. Now I would like to bring back Pari to walk you through some of the accelerators we provide to HR businesses, partners to manage their stakeholders' expectations from an HR transformation project. So this is kind of like building up a journey to come into HR360. Pari, do you want to come in and take?
Sure. Thank you, Imran. And thanks, Shelley, for sharing your insights as well. So like Imran mentioned, I'd like to take you through how you can get onto the journey for Inc. IT HR360 and how we can assist in that part as well. So what SAP provides is a great ecosystem of support. And as you know, our solution is built on the SAP platform. Firstly, let me address the IT manager challenges of an SSO integrated company-wide architecture. So SAP Build Workzone offers a unified digital experience, collating applications across organizations into a single entry point, which is demonstrated here in the screen grab. The integrations with third-party applications are possible by leveraging on SAP BTP, which is the business technology platform, which handles seamlessly the data flow from and to SAP systems. And in addition to the features within the SAP SuccessFactors platform, there are over 200 apps in the SAP App Store, which can be leveraged to address specific industry use cases. And as Imran demonstrated previously, there's native integration with popular platforms like such as MS Office and Seek and LinkedIn for job board posting. But there's actually over 2,000 job boards that are available to be able to roll out if you have a global organization, for example. So this is how we address some of the challenges that the IT manager might have when bringing on a new HR stack. Let's now bring it to from an HR subject matter expert's perspective. HR SMEs can benefit from industry best practice processes library which is mapped in SAP Signavio, which is something that we can open up for you. We can offer a module-wise process and workflow assessment, and the SMEs can visualize and benchmark current processes, which can lead to an enhancement prior to beginning the transformation journey as well. And then lastly, from an executive and board level buy-in perspective, we can leverage on SAP's Value Lifecycle Manager, which assists in preparing a business case with measurable metrics, which are benchmarked against industry peers. This can offer data on monetary benefits and value benefits that a new system would bring to the organization, and holistically be able to support that business case that you're building to get that buy-in. So this completes the IT HR360 offering, and we'd like to take you into our next poll, where we would like to understand how you manage your HR processes. So, all right. So just give me a second, and I will be able to launch that poll, which should be coming up on your screen at the moment. So what does your organization at present use from the below? Is it a paper-based or an Excel-based process? Employees use mobile to submit leave. Any FAQ questions that employees might have? Is it a chatbot service that's answering those questions? Or it could be, it's all of the above, and we have a completely integrated landscape that works excellently for us. Thank you. We're still getting some. All right. Thank you. I think we have a 50-50 here, which is great. We've got some who are in a completely integrated landscape, and then there's some who have a paper-based and an Excel-based system.
And this is what we have observed as well from our experiences as well, right? There can be system that people are using, but it could not be completely integrated, and few are on manual as well. But this is great feedback.
Yeah.
As you know, like there are many organizations, they have begun the journey of transformation, and some are just beginning their journey. So let's look at how technology has evolved. And this is a slide which actually gives an indication where we are actually moving fast as per the technology evolution. And like what we have tried to list down over here, and I'm going to just quickly scan through this to give an opportunity for Q&A. So the technology evolution and adoption has gone and moving at a very fast pace, right? So from 1990, we've got introduction of internet, which actually defined some of the organization goals where they rush to create a website to benefit for them. And then smartphones we are all aware of, which is the era of 2000, and IoT and AI. And at the moment that we are talking about is 2020, where we have got AI, ML, 5G, we are talking about blockchain technology over here as well. I just wanted to, ask Shelly, like in the current organization where we are working with you to implement Inc. IT HR360, what has been the journey like? From which period have you moved from while we are doing this transformation, and we are in the user acceptance phase at Simco operations? So Shelly, do you want to give your insights, like how and after the transformation happens, where we will be post the transformation?
Okay, yeah, we're sort of probably in between 1990 and 2000. Most of our payroll, when I first got here, was all paper copy, all leave, everything was paper copy. We did open up our payroll system to be able to put leave in, and that's where we ended up. But shortly, go live date will be totally paperless.
Beautiful.
In the 2020s. Yeah.
Thank you. And this is what we're going to showcase from this slide. Is not like we are moving from 1990 to 2020, but what we can do as part of Inc. IT HR360 Leap is take any organization for that matter who are using paper-based and manual processes and who could be using a bit of other technologies as well. But HR360 Leap can be as generous as taking from 1990 directly to 2020, which can enable you to get your data right, be ready for the next generation, next leap that's going to happen with the IoT, AI, 5G, and blockchain technology. All right, I think that's bring us to the end of the webinar, where we're going to leave you with Q&A. There's not much time left, but we still have a couple of minutes over here. And we just wanted to put out a summary for your visualization over here. And I would want to thank Lee as well for joining us on this and all the attendees.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shelly.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Shelly. Just going through the questions now.
I think we have one question, Imran. Can I please ask about SSO and what identity provider is being used in the package?
So there are multiple identity providers where SuccessFactors natively integrate with. The popular one is the Microsoft Azure one, which we recommend as part of the HR360 and which is part of the package solution for SSO. Hope that answers your question.
Thank you. And there's one more question, Imran, which is in terms of the time frame that we would implement the package solution in.
Sure. The package solution can take up to from 8 to 16 weeks, depending on the complexity. But generally, what we have noticed is it is around 12 weeks on an average that we can have your system up and running. For some of the organizations with standard adoption, it could be like 8 weeks or 9 to 10 weeks.
Thank you. I think it's right on time. Thank you everyone for joining today's session, and we appreciate the time. Feel free to contact us via these email addresses if you've got any further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.